All right, so I'm going to do this video because it's easier to actually do videos and show original documents than to just upload them. This is absolute bullshit the last 10 years. And I'm going to use a lot of this as my renewal for the green card. So I went and applied for the green card. Look, I did my application in 2011. I submitted it in 2012. So this is back when I was living in Rushcliffe's Bay. Well, actually started back when I was living in Surrey Hills. And in 2014, August 2014, I had my interview at the US consulate in the MLC building. Ever since, I've just gone through hell for 10 years. Seriously, it's been one bullshit false information after the other. Actually, let me pause that while I get another document as well to add to this video. All right, so I paused that video. So what I actually went, sorry, Buffy dog, looking for was a magazine that I did based on my design work, and I actually couldn't find it, but I did find the proofs that I did first. So look, when I studied back in design, we're talking about back in the 90s even. So I studied fine arts certificate in 96. I studied design fundamentals in 97. Then I was a VIP host at Star Casino, and actually let me go to that document first. So original documents. Oh, here we go. So that's from Gordon Gates. There's one of my original documents there. I was a VIP host at Star Casino, talking about my salary package in my 20s of 40, as you can see there, $47,730 a year. There's even Gordon Gates handwritten, okay? I think that's what we're talking about, because I was doing, Gordon Gates at Star Payroll. Back in 2006 and 2007, sorry, I'm off camera. 2006, 2007, I was actually doing higher duty shifts as well. So, what's this here? To whom may concern? Rachel Walton. These are just other documents to do with work at Star Casino. It's Casino Control Authority, here we go. So, this is, you can see my signature there, the 6th of March 2007, signed at the Casino Control Authority. There we go, my license number. This is why I'm losing documents. Moving, and I've got documents everywhere. All right, so there you go. So I was mugged after work November 30th, 2007. And the person that you should be speaking to about that was the person that got the phone call, my ex-partner, John Cabino, Jan. I was with Jan then, not Gio. All right, so yeah, anyway, this is stuff to do with, I don't need to really get into that, but this talks about my position of VIP host. This is New South Wales Casino Control Authority. Position of VIP host. That's what I was at Star Casino. As you can see, I'm not gonna, this is just going around in circles for 10 years. It's my signature there. Another document from the Casino Control Authority talking about the renewal of my license. This is from Susan Halen. So you can see that there again. So all my checks were done. So you actually had to submit all your bank statements and so forth in those days. I don't know if they still have strict regulations like they did when I worked there, where it was under the government. So your license was issued separate to the casino. It was under the government, the Casino Control Authority. There's that. So that backs me up there. So there, that backs me up. Because so I want to tell my mum's deadbeat sister, Robin and Christy, and had Robin's daughter, Christy Childs. They were talking back in 10 years ago, how come you had so much money? I'm like, well, I was on close to 50,000 a year in my 20s. And Christy Childs and Mary Mahowski and all them, they're like, oh, yeah, sure he was. I'm like, what do you think 47,000 is? 47,000, so close to 48,000 a year. What do you think that is? That's close to 50,000. Add to that my overtime when I was doing HD shifts. That's extra. Add to that my other jobs that I did. So I did side cash and hand jobs, and I went way over 50,000 a year in my 20s. I was on way over 50,000 a year in my 20s. We're talking 20 years ago. Yeah, so someone wants to tell those cunt women on my mum's side. Yeah, I'll use the word cunt because they're nothing more but cunts. They're scam artists. So my mother and her sisters, they've all got these jobs in disability now, and they're the fucking biggest scam artists you're ever going to meet, from the most biggest scamming area you are ever going to meet in your life. I think Christy Childs works with an organisation called House in No Steps or a Room or some shit like this. They just scam. They scam to get the jobs. They scam. It's what they do. And they've cost me over, well over 100,000 in savings, which is nothing now, but it was a lot more 10 years ago. And like my mother even said, oh, you're talking about like what, 200,000? 200,000 doesn't get you much these days. I'm like, no, it doesn't. But we're not just talking about 200,000, Carol, because that's just what I had in savings. And we're not just talking about 30,000 for a BMW or expensive furniture, you know, 1,000 here, 1,000 there. We're not just talking about that. Okay. So say if you added up my personal belongings, furniture and assets and car and savings, and all adds up to about 300,000. That's not much at all. That's nothing. So yeah, $300,000 is nothing. That's right. It's nothing. But we're not. We're talking about pain and suffering for 10 years, health problems you've caused me, and loss of salary at the increased rate. Because I was on a return to work program that I was meant to return to work in 2017 at Star Casino with disability. You stopped it. So these organisations stopped my return to work. I've got documents that back all this up because I kept this is one of many folders on all original documents which no one else has. Because I've already asked solicitors, I'm like, have you got those documents? No, that was a long time ago, Justin. I'm like, aren't you lucky than I do? When you're saying with my bank, when I went, you got those original documents? No, that's going back 20 odd years. I'm like, well, aren't you lucky that I keep original documents? So the person that's actually got the correct information is me, and you're going to pay me whether you like it or not. Okay? You're going to pay me what you've just caused me in the last 10 years. Oh, here we go. Tabcorp, here, signed by Saro Mignoni, my boss. Here we go. There, original. There's Saro's original signature on an original document talking about my salary package as a VIP host of $47,730 a year. That is date, I can't see, we got my glasses on for a second. 2006 and 2007. Dear Justin, 2006/07 has been a stimulating, I better put my glasses on, stimulating and challenging year for Tabcorp. It has been a year in which we cemented our position as Australia's leading gaming and entertainment group, but we are not able to translate that position into acceptable profit performance. Yeah, always trying to stop giving pay rises, they were. But anyway, nevertheless, that was my salary package in my 20s of close to 50,000 a year. Oh, here we go. Any more supporting document you need? Plenty of supporting documents. There we go. Justin Fleming, VIP host. Like I said, I threw away furniture to send back to Australia original documents because I'm the only one that holds original documents. I asked my ex-solicitor, no, they're long. We destroyed them after 7 years. I'm like, great. So I'm the person that holds all the original documents. Let's go to court because I want all my money, assets, belongings back, plus 10 years of damages to my health, stopping me from my performance, my growth. You prevented me from returning to work. And I've also got, not just this, I've also got all letters original from my bosses talking about my work performance at Star Casino. So they want to sort of bring that up. I can say, yeah, well, here we go. Because here's my work performance, and you said how great I was. Pay slips. You've got pay slips. Oh, yeah, I prefer to keep original documents of everything so I can back myself up. AMP, superannuation, services. Anyway, look, it's all here. So here's the one with that. Well, here's the one that holds the pound. Me. Like literally, I even went to my bank and I was like, "Excuse me, but can I have my bank statements?" I mean, I've got a lot of them going back to my 20s, but I wanted ones further. Like, oh, we don't have those. I'm like, okay, I'll do. I've just got to get storage. Once I get them out of storage, it's like seriously, my ex was like, what's in your storage? I'm like, besides some, artwork and some antiques, most of it left in America. I said, my documents. I'm paying storage for documents. I said, you know why? Because I'm the one that has them and no one else does. That's why. So I have all the original to back me up. So immigration, want to have a discussion about this? I'm going to sit there with my immigration to renew the green card and say, yeah, so what happened in the last 10 years? Absolutely nothing. What could I do? The Australian government's dumb as dog shit. It is the biggest, dumbest dog shit fucked in the head country you'd ever meet. I've gone through this hell since 2015. Oh, and then what did you do after you were mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007 on your way home from work? I went back to my studies, like I was getting it. So I did study. Let's pull out some of my photography work from 1996. There we go. So this photo was taken in Newcastle. This is just, okay, remember in 1996, I'm 16, 17, studying at TAFE College with other adults, studying fine arts certificate. Okay, here we are here. That's actually Shelley, who was in my class. This is just all testing lights with the camera. So different sort of, resolution. I've got all of this. Yeah, by the way, in 1996, this guy here, hang on. No, Chris is on the bottom. That's Chris on the bottom. I can't remember his boyfriend's name. That's in Newcastle. We used to hang out at, was it Redhead Beach? In Newcastle. Yeah, I dated, well, technically they were a couple and I was the third. Yeah, so I've always been openly gay. 1996, this guy on the bottom here, I used to go on dates with for coffee. That's his boyfriend. So I don't know who started making up stories that I was stressed. Like, really? Because I've always been openly gay. So this here, this little courtyard here, this is across the road from TAFE College in Newcastle. Yeah, I took this photo. It's across the road. This would be a coffee shop just near there that I used to go with Chris. So you want to talk about backing up? This is TAFE College. So Newcastle TAFE, so there was the earthquake in Newcastle that happened years ago. They rebuilt half the TAFE. This is the modern side of it. Okay, I just liked how I was just testing again with the cameras and so forth. So I did photography work. This camera here, I've got this camera. If you have a look at the camera there, so I brought Uncle Fred's cameras to school. My great uncle Leo Patrick Sayer. In 1996, he gave me a lot of his slides that I have and a lot of his photography work and a lot of his cameras because I was doing photography. And that's what you can see. Here it is here. So we're trying to get one of them to work. There we go. That's it just there. Uncle Fred's camera. His real name's Leo. This is Chris. See, like I said, you want to keep defamation, discrimination for 10 years? Go ahead. But I'm going to sue your ass. I'm so sick and tired of this shit in 2 countries. I'm sitting back going, well, I can't do anything. I can't do anything because my reputation's destroyed. I won't do anything until it goes to the court and you pay me compensation for 10 years. Because you owe me compensation for 10 years. That's Chris there as well. Yeah, I took the photos. That's the guy I used to go on dates, just coffee dates with. That's the old Rattler train. You want me to back this up? I can back this up too. Give me a sec. See, I used to catch the Rattler train from Gosford to Newcastle. That's the lights, the old Rattlers. Let me, there you go. There's me traveling. I used to travel on the train all the time. So as a teenager, I was traveling to school on the train. There's all that work. Let me just pause that and we can get the negatives. There's the negatives. So take my mother's cunt fucking sister, Marianne cunt Mahowski to call, please. I hate her guts. If you actually truly knew me, you know how much I hate my mother's family. Anybody who actually does know me would know the truth behind the bullshit that's gone on for over 25 years with my mother's family and just how much I fucking hate their guts. Had to put up with them because my grandparents were like, bite your tongue. Just put up with them. When we're dead, you're going to never have to see them again, Justin. Just do it for us because we want to see you. Like, this is going back when my grandfather Reg was still alive. Because they just do it for us. We want to see you. If they're like, just bite your tongue. So we can see you. Otherwise, we won't get to see you. So anyway, you can see that. All right, so I learned how to develop film and so forth and photography. Just into anything with it because I worked so much when I was at Star Casino. I couldn't keep going with my passion of art and design. So fine arts certificate was in 1996 at TAFE College. Also printmaking, let me show you that. So there's actually artwork that I've got. And I just had idiots trying to make up stories about that. But look, there's the etching I did. See that? So that's the etching I did of one of the artwork as well. Lots to back me up. So, yeah, my ex is like, so what's in storage? I'm like, man, I threw out so much. He's like, all your furniture's gone. I'm like, yeah, because I needed to make room for documents. Majority of it's just, and I've still got boxes of documents that didn't turn up. I'm like, I need these documents. Find these documents because they back me up. Even though I've pretty much, you can look at everything I've got and go, well, so far everything else he said, it's backed up. Here we go. low light project. So this is yeah, from Hunter Street, TAFE. I've kept the brief. So that's the brief there from TAFE College in 1996. All right. There's that. So you can see in the video there, I've backed up my employment. I've backed up 1996. I've got 1997 here. Let's see what I've got here in some of this. I've got 1997 somewhere, design fundamentals. Oh, hang on. I'll tell you what I do have. So many years ago, we'll go into the art gallery. Oh, here we go. I forgot about this design course. I should actually contact this person from Des Moines. Briefly, when I was at Star Casino, I just decided to do Feng Shui design. I kid you not. There we go. That's the course I did. Jackie Phillips will remember when I did that. But there we go. Feng Shui in the bedroom. Yeah, like I've always done different sort of courses. That wasn't a TAFE course, but I have done TAFE courses. I've got stuff here to review at Stuco. So furniture restoration. This is stuff that I've had when I was in the 90s as a kid. I used to do furniture restoration as a hobby. I used to come home from school, go down to the shed and be working on furniture, which is why I've got so much tools. So this is the stuff from the 90s. Should have actually more. Stuco, there we go. So when I was studying fine arts and then design fundamentals, I learned how to do Stuco. That's the, you see, God, it's so old and rusted. That's the information. I might actually even have the brief from 1997. What I do have is, so this document, is this one of the documents that, this might be one of the newer ones, years ago. So my great uncle Fred, whose real name's Leo Patrick Sayer, we're going to the art gallery one day and he goes, he paid for the extension. That's his way to say, apparently, New South Wales Art Gallery, after the war, and Uncle Fred told me, he said they never completed the art gallery. The art gallery was getting built, then the Second World War broke out and it was empty, the back of it. So then years later, I think he said like the 50s or something, that they were rebuilding the back half of the, or it might have even been later than that, of the art gallery, and they were asking for donations and he donated. That's when it might have been actually, was it the 60s or 70s? I don't know. Anyway, could have been 60s actually, more. But like, yeah, so the art gallery was never finished, which is why the front of it's still not finished with plaques and sculptures. But that's that. So yeah, I keep original documents and everything. So great Leo Patrick Sayer, who, he's the one who owned the house that Nan grew up in, 43 Piper Street, Leichhardt. We're going to the art gallery with him one day and he's saying, oh, I paid for the extension. That's, you know, what he meant was he gave a donation for the extension. I'm sure a lot of people did. Okay, there's other stuff to deal with. It's meaningless. That's minute, but I've got here. What's this? Research document. Yeah, I don't need that. All right, so what I want to get to, film appreciation. That's from 2009. These, which I was trying to find. So that's me. That's my designer wearable object in 2009. I did a magazine with all this. Designer wearable object. So I designed this right through the patterning. There's my other designs. So I've got all the originals. Oh yeah, may have been lied about like you would not believe in the last 10 years. And it all seems to come from family. So make them pay. Why? Why should I pay because my family's a cunt? That's me. So why didn't I do anything with any of my TAFE college courses that I studied? I've just been put through hell in the last 10 years where my mother and her sisters are up to their same old scams. Same old bullshit, same old lies. Just waiting to get a good defamation. Oh, and they're poster designs and so forth. But I worked for Steve Hatch and Mitri. I designed that sofa. It's a one-off sofa designed for Jamie Wright. I actually designed it in 2010. It went into a shoe shop in Double Bay in 2011. Yeah, I did. Other furniture design stuff that I've done. And still today, like even Dad said last year, Dad Mark Fleming, remember my father's Mark Fleming, not Mark Rackley. He's like, oh, I don't know why you're bothering going back to your TAFE college. You never did anything with the last courses. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Your son just got lied about since 2015. You sat back and let bastards of people make up bullshit. And you didn't do nothing to help. Oh, and by the way, as I said, I didn't study to be a carpenter. My dad's a builder. I studied to be a designer. So when I designed that cabinet for Rainy fucking Francis, I was like, yeah, I can do handyman work. I've done it, but I'm not a carpenter. So I can't just go and build you. I said, my dad can. But I have to work on it with dad, and I wasn't talking to dad at the time. If I had been speaking with dad in 2012, I would have, that's my design. So that's my design, which I've always got good marks for design. That's what I made. But if I had worked with dad to make this design, dad's a builder. So I could have designed it, he could have helped me make it. We just weren't talking in 2012 because we had an argument because of my boyfriend, basically. Oh, and you can always get my transcripts from TAFE College. You know, there's a thought. I know the government in Australia is dumb as dog shit. Oh, they are. Australian government workers are the biggest, dumbest dog shit, useless, pathetic people you're ever going to meet. Apart from that, so yeah, my dog chewed half of this when I was in America. This is from when I was in the States. Who have we got on the video? Okay, I'm trying to keep this video under half an hour. Otherwise, so I've got so much to cover. Otherwise, it's going to, probably not upload. So, when Amanda and myself was in America in January and February 2001, Amanda was living there. That's right. Okay. I said to Amanda back then, I couldn't believe when Kevin and Cindy Burke from Stafford, Virginia, offered Amanda to get a green card. She turned him down. I was like, are you shitting me? Like, seriously, Amanda, like, I've been working towards my entire life to move permanently to the US. Our dad played baseball. Like, seriously, like, we've got baseball in our blood. Like, and you're turning him down. Like, Mark Fleming played baseball, still got his baseball. He was a really good baseball player, Dad. I grew up playing soccer and riding equestrian horses. But Dad was a fantastic baseball player. Absolutely, like Dad, he's an old man now. He's 70 next year. Oh, hang on. Yeah, he's 69 this year, 70 next year. Christ. But he was a phenomenal baseball player, my dad. Very fit man. A great builder, anyway. I still kept our travel itinerary of everywhere we went around, and then I stayed a couple of weeks at Amanda's. So I've often said when people bring up my jewelry, I'm like, well, why don't you just look at photos of me 20 odd years ago? And here we go. This is me back on the 2nd of February 2001. That's myself and my twin sister Amanda. That's me. You see all the thick gold chains I'm wearing, all the jewelry? Yeah, that's actually me. My dog's chewed the corner of it. So, I think you got the shits. One day my dog chewed the corner of it. But that's it, myself and my twin sister Amanda. That is actually under the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. So we're standing under the Bay Bridge, and there's a little shop nearby where you could buy a wooden tram. I don't know what happened to it. I think Mum might have it now. Gave it to Nan. One of Marion's kids broke it, but he used to play That's Tune I Left My Heart in San Francisco. It was what we brought back for Nana. Anyway, so I was in the States, for those. And I said to him, I said, don't come back to Australia. Literally, I said to Moosh, who's living there, I said, you've got a great job. That's me and Amanda. So you can see we're different looking. I look like Dad's side. I've always looked like the Flemings, and Amanda's always looked like Mum's side. We just look different. So, as I said, my hair's always been black. It's naturally black. But, look, so I literally said then, I said, why are you coming back to Australia? She was homesick. I'm like, homesick for what? Like, seriously, I never got homesick once for Australia. When I was in America, never. So, she's got some other stuff I've gone through. Yeah, never did I ever feel homesick. I've got the shits that Australia caused trouble in America for me. Actually, I don't know if Amanda wants. I don't think she's got any copies of these photos. Here we go. Tell you how thin I used to be. That's me showing off. Okay, pulling the top off me. I was changing clothes. I don't know where we were. California. California. Hudson River. That's when we traveled around California. Amanda and myself. That's Moo. That's Amanda there in the photo. I'm pretty sure that's San Francisco by looks. That looks like actually it looks like the Chinese people went to in San Francisco. So yeah, but look, I'm going to keep this. I've got 5 minutes left on the video because I want to keep it just under 30 minutes so I can upload this. Well, just so I can upload it. But basically, every single statement I've made is factual. I'm not in this. Yeah, anyway. So that's me. That's us there. So you can see myself and my twin sister just there. Well, of course, there's me with the black hair, little European beard, that white shirt. That's me in February 2001, San Francisco. Yeah, great group of people. They're traveling around America with. So I traveled around the US for 2 months in 2001. And before I even traveled, so you know, people say, "Oh, you love an area because you went there on holidays." I said, "Oh, I loved America before I went there on holidays." I used to always wear my Yankees cap, baseball cap, and that was just my destination of always. And there's a few cousins from the Fleming side that live there, so my dad's side. What else? I look back in those days too. I've still got my I don't know if you can see it there in the video, my aeroplane ticket. You know, this is before 9/11, of course. So back in those days, like, here's what Amanda and I, we're traveling around, right? And we go to a place in America and we're like, well, we can only afford to take 2 photos in this area. Like, it's bizarre to actually think what that was like. With today's kids, it's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, we had to have a film. We had to buy the film, have it developed, and you had no idea if it was going to come out. You just had to potluck if you're in an area. So we started collecting where we're traveling. Oh shit! And I've got to put this in a new folder. All right, time for a new folder. I just broke it. We started collecting things like postcards, like this one. So because we didn't know, like, we're there in Beverly Hills and we're like, will these photos turn out? Don't know. We can only, like, I think in Beverly Hills we had, like, man had a camera that did these long photos. There's a man at the Wilshire Boulevard, Wilshire Hotel, out on the fire escape. Just try and get this sort of fabulous photo of across there in LA. And there's us in Hollywood. That's Amanda and myself in Hollywood. And I went back to this beach here. I went here when I was there in 2021. I went back there to this beach where I was and the pier where I've been. So I've been to this pier and that already. But yeah. So I came back. Look, I'm not going to go through all these now. The folders just sort of split, and I don't want to lose all the photos. But again, I can back myself up. I literally had people in the last 10 years trying to make up, oh, he's going to America because it was like, oh, he's Make-A-Wish Foundation. Oh, it was his dream to go to America. I'm like, are you insane? Are you absolutely insane? Do you know how many times I've been to the US? Do you know that I set out to get a green card to the US since January, well, I could say before that, but I prominently set out January, February 2001. Like, there's all my travel. I've traveled around America, and I'm a complainer. Like you said, like, not in a bad way, but we're in LA, and we're out in Hollywood at this great, fabulous sort of martini lounge, and next minute they close at 2 a.m, and I'm like, where do we go to now? And these friends that we're going to go to the diner. I'm like, all right, let's rock it at the diner, and it was literally the diner, and this part was sort of true. It's like, great. So, like, and they're like, what do you like? I'm like, well, Sydney, 24 hours, you know, before my flight to the US. Mum's like, make sure you get plenty of sleep before you fly. I'm like, yeah, sure. I went out on Oxford Street. I was with Azif from Parramatta, a friend of mine from Parramatta, Azif, and Michael Renkins, who, Rachel Simmons, who I worked with in Parramatta back in the year 2000, will remember Michael, which you should, because it was myself, Michael Renkins, and Azif that helped Rachel Simmons move from Parramatta to Blacktown near the train station, who her brother Wesley ended up staying there, but she moved into Bondi. When I moved into Manly, she moved into Bondi. Anyway, So we're out on Oxford Street at Envy's. Actually, I think we were. We went to Tantra. I think we went to Arc Tantra. Then we end up at Envy's. Was the last club we went to, and yeah, that was it. Was like my sort of, seriously, it was weird because like I don't think people do it now, but because I was going away to America for 2 months, my friends from Parramatta, we're like all going out as in a going away sort of party. It was like you don't do it now, but we did it back then. You know, so yeah, the last couple we went to was yeah, I think I went from Envy's nightclub on Oxford Street. It was next door to Tantra. Straight to the airport because that's what I was going to try and find, because all I had to do was be at the gate. Was it 15 minutes before my flight? Hang on, I've got it here somewhere. It literally says 15 minutes before. You can't do that now. Here we go. Yeah, boarding. Here we go. 15 minutes. So I literally went out clubbing, went back to Nans and Kerry Road, grabbed my suitcase, got into Mascot, and had to just run to the gate and be there 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Now you're gonna be like 5 hours. 15 minutes. And that was yeah, right there. So I'm so happy that I've actually kept that original document to say, well, when I first was in America, the whole security check was as long as you're at your gate 15 minutes. Not an hour, not an hour and a half, not 5 hours like you have to be now. I'm kidding. My little dog's snuggling out with me. 15 minutes. And it was the best, you know, it's not been the best experience of my life. I never treated it like a holiday. I treated it like I lived there because my twin sister did live there. That's the thing. It was always home to me. And I said to him, I said, don't come back to Australia. Why? What are you going to do? Come back to Australia and marry an Australian? Like, literally, that's what my attitude. Like Kevin, like Cindy, who she worked for, her, was it her father or her grandfather was buried at the White House? They literally, the family that my sister worked for had ties to military, and beautiful family from Stafford, Virginia. And I said to them, I said, they want to get you a green card and have you stay. She goes, oh no. But I'm like, no, what are you doing? What's in Australia? Literally, I kept saying, why would you come back to Australia? What's here? There's nothing in Australia, Amanda. And she came, I couldn't believe she came back. And you know what? She came back and she married an Australian. I was like, oh no, not impressed. And she just had the most boring life. Like, she had the most boring life when I was like, you know, and yeah, like I'm happy that I come back to Australia. Here we go. I've still got my, was it $1? And my US $1 coin. There we go. I'm happy that I came back. I didn't come back because I wanted to. I came back because when I'm trying to live my life in America as a permanent resident since 2014, I'm brought a place to resell straight away to move to Atlantic City and purchase in Atlantic City so I could be in the casino environment and an RT environment, go back to my design work, but work in the casino industry. And I keep getting stopped. Literally, it's like, man, this is my money that I came from the sale of my investment property in 16 Scott Road, Tamworth, that I purchased this place for in America to make money from, so I could purchase a large apartment because I can't stand small inside spaces. I found the perfect large apartment, which was at South Iowa Avenue in Atlantic City, across the road from IMAX, across the road from a 24-hour shopping center for groceries, and like, which is me. Like, if I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, shit, like I was this morning, there's a fucking spider on the ceiling in the bath. There was a friggin' spider on the ceiling in the bathroom, and there was no friggin' bug spray left. I'm like, well, you know, I just want to go walk across the road and go to a 24-hour shopping center and pick up some bug spray, or you know, I'm out of milk. Like, that's what I've always done. You know, and I hate Australia. There's no cities in Australia. Whereas, like, well, in America, I've got so many choices of cities. Whether it's, you know, whether it's Chicago, I mean, I prefer somewhere like Atlantic City because Atlantic City is predominantly male. So it's like 90% male. You know, like the same as New York. Those cities like New York and Atlantic City are predominantly men. They're men operated, men run, masculine cities. No children, more dogs. Like you said, it's all dogs, no kids. And that's what I love. No kids. I fucking hate living around kids. Hate family orientated people. They're not like-minded to me. So basically that's where I was looking. But you still have places like, Detroit, Michigan. So I like Detroit, Michigan, because of, Motown and so forth. And Detroit, Michigan had a really good 24-hour vibe, atmosphere, and so forth. But I always come back to Atlantic City. It's close to two main cities. It's Jersey. I love New Jersey. Always did. I've literally had people try to push me to places like Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and I'm like, yeah, I just like Atlantic City. It's, for me, Atlantic City is like a 24-hour Central Coast. Or 24-hour, like I've said this before, and this is how I refer to Atlantic City, King's Cross by the ocean. So I really love Atlantic City. 5 boutique hotels. I actually, during COVID, rang up and it's doing really well too, Atlantic City, which is great. I rang up the Hard Rock Casino about jobs because I was working for Mohegan Sun in America. I was like, look, and I loved working there. I said, but I can't stay in Connecticut. As beautiful as it is, I can't live where I am. And the people I was living around. Yeah. I said, look, I just want to be around, 24-hour city. Step out my front door, concrete, sand, salt water, casino across the road, I go to work. I want to get my Dodge Charger. I brought here to make money, to sell, buy in Atlantic City, have the money to buy the car that I want to drive. So that's the only reason why I bought it in Connecticut, was to make extra money. Be there, get my stuff over, make some extra money, buy where I wanted to buy in the city, and get the car that I wanted to drive. The Dodge Charger, which I love the Dodge Charger, cheaper in America than in Australia, and have my life. Like, just stay there, live in the US permanently, not worry about coming back to Australia, except for if I wanted to visit family. And to be honest, even when I was coming back, they're like, "Oh, you miss your family?" I'm not really. Not particularly, no. Not after the last 10 years. They've got to give me a reason to miss them. So why would I miss you? Were you decent to me? Ever in my life? No. Did you help when I said, oh, look, Mum, my mother's worked in a legal office as a paralegal most of her life. She started as a secretary. But, Christ, before I was born, she had a junior secretary. So my mother, in 1979, her junior secretary was Margie Clay. I can't think of what Margie's maiden name was, actually, because I think that's Trevor, her husband, her first husband's name. Anyway, so she worked for a legal office for a very long time, and then when I asked her for help, it was like, no. Like, what do you mean no? I just want someone to verify some documents for me, and get rid of some organisations that have got false information since I was lied about in 2015, and it was no. I was like, oh, well, you're not much of a mother then, are you? Dad, Mark Fleming, same. It's like, so the dad's niece, so his older sister, Sandra's daughter, Rebecca. I said in 2017, I said, Rebecca, I'm getting harassed by people from Tamworth, New England, that know Mum's second husband, and they keep projecting Mum's second husband into my life. They're telling people, government organisations such as housing. I was like, literally this fuckwit said, oh no, his father's not a builder, his father's a nurse, and his father's a alcoholic, cannabis smoking, abusive person. I'm like, no, that's my stepfather, and I barely know my stepfather. And these people knew my stepfather, Mark Jeffrey Rackley, and his son, Daniel Rackley, and kept projecting that onto me and my actual real father. So my real father is Mark Ian Fleming. And they were doing this back in 2017, and I was just being a smart ass back, because I knew they had wrong information. I knew that people obviously didn't know my dad's father, Stanley Fleming. They couldn't pinpoint my grandparents, Stanley or Ruby, in a photo. My dad, Mark Ian Fleming, my half sister, Sky Sheridan Fleming. Cousins on my dad's side, like Christy Ceruni, which is dad's younger sister, Auntie Linda's daughter. Her husband, John. Auntie Linda, Auntie Sandra, Sandra's children. I was like, these people know nothing about me at all. And I'm going over time. I just looked at the time there. It's almost 10 minutes over half an hour. So I'm going to have to stop the recording now so it uploads. But I just thought, they don't know a thing about me at all. Nothing. Yet they've just harassed my life since I was lied about in 2015. And I literally, like you can see, I've got so many documents that back me up. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, what? I can't do anything. This is government departments. I need a solicitor. Like I said to my mum 10 years ago, I said, it makes it so much easier if you just get me a solicitor. I can speak for myself, thanks. Just got to take on a government organisation, basically. Simple. I'm getting lied about by people, groups, and organisations that are just playing these little bullshit scams. Stephanie DeSantis is one of them. It's like, unless you got transparency with me, I can say yes, no, like, explain to people what's going on. And this has gone on now since 2015, when some social media bullshit as well. So no, I'm not impressed. So basically, what's coming back, they're like, "Oh, you miss your family?" Not in particularly. No, I don't have anything to miss them for. I'm going back to Australia because I spoke to Larry Adler in Hartford, Connecticut, and I said, "This is what's been going on. People are spreading false information from Australia to the US, and it's preventing me from living my life in America. It's costing me money, Larry." So the attorney Adler is really lovely. I said, "Look, it's costing me money. How am I supposed to live my life in America as a permanent resident when this is causing a lot of damage?" I literally had disability organisations harass me. And I was telling him, I said, he goes, "Well, I don't have jurisdiction to act for you from here to Australia. You might have to go back to Australia." Basically, I was like, okay. So I sold my condo, and it cost me 80,000 American to live on while I was waiting for the COVID restrictions to lift and come back to. So that's my own savings of 80,000 American. So I want that. Well, hey, I didn't cause it. Why should I be paying the damage because this country's full of dumb dog shit idiots? And Australia's full of dumb dog shit idiots. Well, that can't be told. Oh, and then because some arseholes, they've got their nose out of joint for two things. One of them, because when I trained my dog as a service dog, and minimum requirement for service dog in the US is asthma. Don't try to fuck that up for Americans. It's fantastic. So, oops, you're a little sore. He's got a little sore that's weeping. So yeah, look at him. Why wouldn't you look at the little sweet thing? He's just happy to, like, I'm doing videos right now and he's happy snuggling up with me. So what? I trained him. He's a trained dog. He's trained, he's licensed, and that's the end of the story. He's trained, licensed, end of story. I don't have to explain anything to you. Okay? You don't have any legal right to ask me questions about it. And then because the fuckwits were making a big deal in December 2016, so I was being a smart ass down near Picton, and those dumb assholes had their nose out of joint and thought something that, well, they believe their own fabricated story. They believe their bullshit theories and their bullshit assumptions and projections, their fabrication of what was actually really going on, and harassed my life for 10 years. It's like, well, you guys did it, not me. Well, you want me to just walk away from all my assets, belongings, savings, and living home environment, pain and suffering, health damages have caused me, reputation damage, preventing me from return to work. I mean, I did go back and return to casino work in America, and I will do it again, but I won't ever have anything to do with Australia. And clearly the last 2.5 years of being back in Australia, where I only came back to restore my credibility and reputation, all I've been is harassed by arseholes. Since being back in Australia, groups, organisations, people, and I made it perfectly clear I'm not coming back for anyone. I'm coming back to restore my credibility. You think you're a smart ass to come to the US and cause me damage in the US? Fuck off. No, you're not. I'm a permanent resident since 2014. Alright, so that's basically what was going on. I came back for a specific reason and got dragged through more bullshit here in Australia. I was like, get fucked. I literally came back just to be here like 6 months and then go back to America. And now I've been stuck for almost 3 years because of you idiots in Australia. So I don't want anything to do with Australia. I want nothing to do with it. As far as I'm concerned, my parents need a good snap up to reality and wake up to yourself. That means Carol Ann Purdy and Mark Ian Fleming, wake up to your fucking self. Seriously. Your son was lied about for 10 years. You did the right thing, get your son solicited and go after those groups and organisations. I'm going to leave it there.